Okay, so today we get to hear from Tammy. Tammy is a yoga instructor with Healthy by Tammy, and she's a strong advocate for all things health and wellness. She's known for running classes that help her clients get calm and fit together. She offers both an early morning and a late afternoon session. So, depending on your schedule, there are options available to you. Tammy does offer more than just classic yoga. However, her offerings include Trapeze Yoga, which if you've never seen, you need to make a point of getting her to introduce this to you. It's absolutely fascinating and really, really, really cool looking. She also does targeted mobility yoga. She runs the boot camp, and she is also a medical esthetician. She recently reopened her Medi Spa, Satin Laser Spa. I'm very excited for you, Tammy. That's awesome. And she also has her own skincare line called Elegance MD Clinical Skincare. In Tammy's spare time, she enjoys glamping, paddleboarding, and kayaking, and spending time with her hubby and her two children who are 20 and 22 years old. Tammy is originally from Newfoundland. She moved over to BC back in 1995. I had a Newfie soccer coach when I was a kid, and he used to say this. He called it a Newfie saying. So I'll say it to you now because I hear it's a good blessing. Long may your big jib draw. So let's hear from Tammy herself about her and her business.
Thanks for that introduction, Craig. And I'm able to share my screen, yes?
Yep.
All right, excellent. And here we go. Sharing my screen, and I'll just move over, hang tight. There we go. And everyone can see everything okay?
Looks great.
Okay, excellent. So good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Tammy Norman, and my business is called Healthy by Tammy. And welcome to my presentation this morning on learning yoga breathing. So my approach to yoga breathing is we use ancient yoga practices, breathing practices informed by modern science to provide safe, practical exercises that deliver immediate results. Some benefits of yoga breathing are that it reduces stress, it boosts your digestion, improves your sleep, balances your mood and energy, and increases your mental focus. Some of the things I'll cover today, we're going to do a breath test. We're going to learn one of the three styles of breathing that I teach. We're going to focus on water breathing today. We'll talk a little bit about the science and then about how breathing affects your nervous system. So breath testing. I'll get everyone to place your index finger under your nose, and then I want you to do a big, strong exhale. Which nostril is dominant? Which nostril does the air pass through more easily? If it's your right nostril, you are in your sympathetic nervous system right now, which is you're ready for action, you're up, you're ready to go. And if your left nostril is dominant, you're in your parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest. So again, left nostril dominance, the alpha brain waves are dominant. And again, you're in that rest, digest. You may be relaxed, you may be tired or sleepy. It could be right after eating. You may be having some emotional connectivity or feelings of calm and creativity. But that right nostril dominance, you're in your beta brain wave. Your sympathetic nervous system is stimulated. You may be hungry, wakeful, or alert, prepped for physical activity or exercise, or maybe even feeling a little anxious. The history of this nasal cycle dominance test, it was discovered in 1895 by a German physician called Richard Kaiser. It has about a 90% success rate, and the best times to test are in the morning, before and after your meals, and right before bed. You can expect changes about every 90 to 120 minutes. And the best thing is that we can often shift our parasympathetic to sympathetic and sympathetic to parasympathetic nervous system through yoga breathing. So why nose breathing? Well, this helps with our temperature control. It humidifies the body, purifies the air coming into our body. It adds friction and control to the breath that increases the breath efficiency. It helps trigger your neuroreceptors in your nose and sinuses that signal safety. It can impact the jaw and palate development in children. And very importantly, it can affect the quality and quantity of your sleep, which can have huge implications on your health. It also adds nitric oxide to your breath, which helps in vasodilation, so opening up of your blood vessels so that blood can flow through freely. So let's talk about water breathing, which is, we'll do an example of that today. So with water breathing, you're breathing at about 50% of your natural rate, but you're taking in 2 times the volume. And the aim is approximately 4 to 6 liters per minute. If we can, we do it by nose-only breathing. We're focusing on diaphragmatic breathing, so starting with your diaphragm, and this helps tone your nervous system. So let's get into a little bit of the science. Effective breathing, we start with our diaphragm, then our intercostal muscles between our ribs are involved, and then your accessory ribs, your neck, your shoulders, and your back. The role of oxygen in breathing is that it chemically changes food and liquid into energy. It helps contract our muscles. It repairs our cells, helps feed your brain, and cleanses your body. And the role of CO2 in breathing, it helps with vasodilation or dilation of our veins, dilation of your breathing passageways as well. It helps increase oxygen absorption and has an effect on the elimination of waste. So both are necessary, and the balance is our goal. So yoga breathing mostly focuses on manipulating CO2 levels in the lungs and in the blood. So how does this affect our nervous system? Well, we focus on our autonomic nervous system, which controls our heart rate, digestion, respiratory rate, urination, arousal, and other things as well. And again, we've got 2 branches, that sympathetic nervous system that we talked about, which is the fight or flight. Elimination slows down, blood goes to your muscles and lungs, and we get a shot of adrenaline. Our heart rate increases, our pupils dilate for better long distance vision, and this is where arousal can happen. And in our parasympathetic nervous system is our rest and digest. All the blood flow goes to our stomach, GI tract. We have stimulation in our bowels, in our urination, decreases our heart rate, and our pupils normalize for shorter range vision. So how does this affect our vagus nerve? It's our 10th cranial nerve. It's the longest of the autonomic nervous system. Technically, it's a pair of nerves, but it is referred to as a singular. And it's largely responsible for our parasympathetic response, so that rest, digest, and calm. It controls our heart, our lungs, and our digestive tract. So the vagus nerve and breathing, well, our vagus nerve passes through the opening of our diaphragm, and it is stimulated by deep breathing. It's also stimulated by humming and singing. And breathing helps promote vagal tone. A high vagal tone is helpful for responsiveness to the environment versus reactivity to our environment. And it helps with our ability to adapt to our environment. So without further ado, let's get ready for a practice in water breathing. So to begin, take a comfortable seated position with both feet on the floor. I want you to pull your head toward the ceiling and take your chin parallel to the floor. Relax your face and your shoulders and close your eyes. We'll be breathing through our nose only here, and it's a 4 count on the inhale and a 4 count on the exhale. So let's begin. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Your eyes remain closed. Your breath is natural now. Normal, no more counting. Just let go. Thank you for joining me on this balanced breathing practice. Let's practice again real soon, and you can open your eyes. Thank you so much, everyone. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask away.
Yeah, let's put me to sleep.
Tammy, what's the difference between breathing in and using your stomach or breathing in using your lungs? You know, when, yeah.
So we start with the diaphragmatic breathing that helps. So the diaphragm goes down so you can expand your lungs. So a lot of times when we're stressed out, we're breathing high and heavy in our chest, and we're not taking it down into the diaphragm. So again, the diaphragm expansion allows the lungs to expand. If you're not starting with the diaphragm, then your lungs won't get that proper expansion.
Tammy,
Yes.
when would you recommend let's just say in a regular day, what would be maybe like a little trigger that would remind me, oh, I should just stop and do some of the balanced breathing like we just did? What does that help achieve? What does it help do? Because I know we've done it in exercising, but just throughout the day, when would that be really helpful?
Absolutely. So balanced breathing helps lift you up if you're feeling a little tired. And if you're feeling anxious, it helps calm you down. So if you're in a lineup at a grocery store and all of a sudden there's some irritating thing happening in front of you, you can start your balanced breathing right there. Or if you're in a meeting and you're feeling a little drowsy because it's early in the morning, you can do your balanced breathing to kind of invigorate you a little bit and lift you up. So it's literally balanced breathing.
Oh, thanks.
I use it in my car all the time. Not gonna
Right?
lie.
Absolutely.
It's really helpful.
Yeah. It's interesting because my kids have seen such a difference in me as a person since I've started all the yoga and the yoga breathing. They said, Mom, you're so relaxed. You're so calm. And I'm like, this is why. This is what's doing it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you for your presentation. Great as always. I'm definitely there with Ken. I was ready to just drift off back to sleep there.